Capital, the company has approved fundraising plans to the tune of $40 million. To discuss this and more, we are now joined by Venkat Minavalli, the chairman of the company. Good morning, Mr. Venkat, and thanks so much for joining in. $40 million is a huge size, is a huge amount for a company of your size. When we convert it into rupees, it turns out to be about 260, 270 crore. That's more than 50% of the company's market capitalization. So if you could tell us what is the reason for such a large fundraise and what is the breakup between equity as well as debt?
Okay, let me tell you, thanks, good morning to you. And Stampede has three subsidiaries. Stampede Capital owns three subsidiaries, two in Singapore and one in India. And one is into fintech and the other one is into trade finance. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and basically, yesterday the board has approved to issue 100 crores worth of preferential shares of warrants to the HNIs who are participating, which will help us to fund the growth of fintech division, ARM division. And also we are going to utilize the funds, and we are also planning to raise the further capital for pumping both the fintech arms, as we are connected to multiple exchanges across the globe, and the capital and also for the growth of the Indian arm. And another subsidiary in Singapore, currently we are doing a US GAAP audit, is happening last 3 years audit, and we are filing, working with the tool listed in US, I think, which we'll be sharing with the markets in next 15 days as the audit is going on.
All right.
So going forward, all the three subsidiaries, we want to unlock the value for the shareholders, and Stampede Capital will be the holding company, and you can see unlocking the Indian company value, growing the Indian company subsidiary, as well as growing the Singapore arm and both the arms of Singapore.
Right, sir. You know, sir, we're very happy with what you're telling us, and I'm sure it will be good for your shareholders. But, sir, your market cap is 520 crores. You're saying your issued shares worth 100 crores. That's a good 20% dilution as we speak. And you're talking about more dilution going ahead as well. What are you planning on doing, sir? I mean, your promoter holding as well is at around 42%. It's not sky high, 60, 70%.
Yes.
What's the outlook, sir? Such a big dilution to your equity base. Where do you see your promoter holding going? I mean, if you're so positive on your business, normally promoters increase stake. Here you're going on diluting the base. Give us some clarity, sir.
Yes, sir. As a promoter, I'm diluting my stake because we want to reduce the stake of promoter to 15%. To 15%, 15%. Because, see, we are a fintech company and technology companies need growth capital. And, without growth capital, we cannot move. Ultimately, we need funds to be infused. You look at any technology arm today, the promoters' holdings are around 10 to 15%. You take Flipkart or Snapdeal, where the promoter holdings are less than 3%. The capital raising is the most important to maintain the growth, and this company needs growth for international businesses to grow. That is the main reason why we are taking this call.
Okay, so to understand, it will be 100 crore by way of those preferential warrants to non-promoter entities, plus another $40 million.
Actually, we are going for the shareholder approval up to $40 million, and which we are seeking at. And basically, as I told you, let me tell you, there are three subsidiaries in Stampede Capital, and two subsidiaries. One is a fintech subsidiary, which we want to aggressively grow it, needs more capital. And one subsidiary, which we are planning to file for the US listing either within next 15 days with the SEC, with the audits are finished last 3 years. That itself will raise the capital, and we need more growth capital. Today's financial, in fintech market, the 50 million or 100 million market, the raised capital is very, very small. And someone has to sacrifice. As a promoter, we are being
Very good, sir. Sir, we are getting all those points, but we're a little amazed that you want to bring your stake down to 15%. But I'm even more amazed by your numbers. If I just look at it in the past few years, suddenly you were doing 1 crore, then you started doing 20 crores, and last year suddenly you're doing 200 crores in terms of revenues. Explain that to me, and also tell me how your trade receivables have increased to 100 crores from what, 15, 16 crores?
Pardon?
So your numbers, suddenly we are seeing a big spurt in your revenues in the last year or so. What changed so materially? And if I take a look at your books, your FY16 trade payables, that's increased to 100 crores from 17 crores. What's going on there?
Okay, let me tell you, sir, in 2000, when you are talking about 2013, in 2013, we are only Indian arm. We got permission from RBI and SEBI to start up our Singapore arms. Once we started Singapore arms, we got two divisions. One is into the financial market, where we are connected and became a market maker on Singapore Exchange and all the global exchanges like Intercontinental Exchange and other markets. And other arm is into trade finance, where we started trading with the largest companies, like trading companies of the world. And the trade, that's why you have seen the growth. The growth is coming not from the Indian subsidiaries, like India. The growth is coming from both the Singapore arms, where today by this we did like last 9 months around $50 million of revenue coming from both the arms, the Singapore two arms.
Very quickly,
So,
sir.
like,
Yeah. Okay, sir. Very quickly, we're running out of time. But, sir, we just had a query. Are you the same promoter, sir, who was a promoter of Northgate Tech and the name was later changed to Greenfire Agri Commodities?
See, let me tell you, I came out of Northgate. I was one of the promoters of Northgate.
Oh.
I'm just one of the promoters. I came out of Northgate in 2009 and started Stampede Capital.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, that's the word coming about Stampede Capital. I'm just still amazed at the
Fishy
amount
story.
of fundraise they're doing for a company of their size. It's quite a lot, and I'm just surprised the stock is also moving up.
Lot of
Because
question
generally,
marks.
when there is so much dilution, you see pressure because you obviously can't raise it at a premium to where the stock is quoting at, and it's a big jump in the numbers.
Rima,
also.
and